Jackie Gleason had a successful TV show. He was living in a home that was given to him by the city of Miami Beach and hitting the golf course whenever he wanted. But one day he found himself being contacted by the FBI. Although the meeting solved a riddle that had haunted him, it would leave him with other questions. So what was this mystery surrounding one of the most beloved comedic actors in history? There is more to the story. Jackie Gleason was born on February 26, 1916 in Brooklyn, New York to Herb and May Gleason, the couple who fought as much as they drank. Because his older brother had died, May became very protective of Jackie. Rarely did she allow him outside to play with other kids, and he didn't even start school until he was 8. One of the good memories of his childhood was going to the local Halsey Theater with his father to watch the films of Buster Keaton or Charlie Chaplin, but what Jackie really liked were the vaudeville acts that played there, even telling his father that he wished he could do that one day. On December 15, 1925, after a particularly heated argument with May, Herb Gleason walked out. May checked the local speakeasies but couldn't find him. When she called his job, she found out that he had left that as well. She went to his family, but they were no help. Jackie remembered it as the worst Christmas of his life. No presents, no tree, and no father. His mother went to work for the subway as a change maker, and eventually the two moved to 328 Chauncey Street, the same street address Jackie would later use for one of his most famous creations. It wasn't a great neighborhood, but Jackie was fond of the landlord, a man named Mr. Dennehy, so much so that he named a recurring character in one of his sketches after him and greeted him every week on his television show.
Mr. Denny, how you feeling, pal?
After trying his hand at amateur nights, Jackie got a job working as a comic at the same theater that he used to visit with his father. When the main comic, a man named Sammy Birch, left to find work in New York City, Jackie was given the job as host. Along with this, he would do whatever jobs he could find, including announcing car races and even doing a diving act, but he longed to try his hand in New York City like Sammy Birch. When his mother died, he decided to make his move. He had little money, but he was young, brash, and figured he didn't have much to lose. A couple of days after the funeral, he found himself in Times Square wondering what he was going to do, when suddenly the only person he knew in New York City, Sammy Birch, came walking by. Birch not only invited Gleason to sleep in his apartment, but showed him how to eat cheaply and helped him find jobs. And it was because of this that later Sammy could usually be seen on Jackie's show. He found work at a place called Club 18. A night spot frequented by people from both Hollywood and Broadway, and it was here that Jackie's talent for insulting people earned him a movie contract. One night he targeted one of the patrons, making fun of him for being bald. Instead of being insulted, the guy thought Jackie was hilarious. It turned out to be Jack Warner from Warner Brothers Studio, and he gave Jackie a film contract for $250 a week. Though Jackie appeared in a number of movies, he wasn't given much of a chance to make a mark, and his film career stalled. But if the film industry didn't know what to do with him, television would. Creator Irving Breacher was trying to put together a television version of his popular radio series, The Life of Riley. Unfortunately, William Bendix, the star of the show, had a contract with RKO Studios that prevented him from doing TV. In the absence of Bendix, Breacher thought Gleason was perfect. While it wasn't a hit, The Life of Riley proved that Gleason could carry his own show, and the Dumont Network offered him a job hosting Cavalcade of Stars. It was on this show that Gleason demonstrated his talent for sketch comedy and ad-libbing on live TV, and where he would first be teamed with radio actor and impressionist Art Carney. The chemistry between the two performers was so good that Jackie kept asking Carney back. It was also here that Gleason would come up with one of his most famous characters. Inspired by the radio show The Bickersons, Jackie thought of a sketch about a guy who argues with his wife. The writers wanted to call it The Beast, but Jackie didn't see the guy as a beast, but someone who really loved his wife. Jackie also rejected The Lovers and came up with the perfect title, The Honeymooners, and it soon proved to be the most popular part of the show. With his popularity rising, Jackie decided he might want a better opportunity with another network. The executives at CBS were familiar with Jackie. He had appeared on Frank Sinatra's show a number of times and had even guest hosted. They ended up signing him to an $11 million contract, the largest in television history up to that point. They also gave him complete control of his show, something only Milton Berle enjoyed. With all the sketches they did, it was the Honeymooners that dominated the show, and in 1955 it became its own show, making it the first spin-off series. Afraid that they would not be able to keep up the quality, Jackie refused to do a second season, and went back to the same variety format he had before, complete with Honeymooners sketches. In 1957, however, the ratings started to decline, and by 1959 he was off the air. But Gleason was not without offers or opportunities. He appeared on Broadway in Take Me Along. He showed his versatility as an actor with roles in The Hustler, Soldier in the Rain, and Requiem for Heavyweight. For the movie Gajot, he not only starred but wrote the story and helped compose the music. By the time 1962 rolled around, he had reached a new deal with CBS and was back with his own weekly variety show. A couple of years later, he would move his entire production to another state. In a 1964 interview, he mentioned how much he loved playing golf and wished he could play it year-round. The city of Miami Beach took notice and offered him a house on a fairway if he would move his show down there. For the remainder of his show, he would film it in Florida, and for the remainder of his life, he would live there. And it was during this period that he was contacted by the FBI. J. Edgar Hoover was an acquaintance of Jackie's. He had heard about his father disappearing and decided to have some agents look into it. The agents informed Jackie that his father had been living in Connecticut and had died there in a car accident in 1964. And although that part of the mystery had been solved, there was another aspect of it that Jackie would never know, which was why his father had never bothered to contact him. After all, he figured that his father must have seen him on television. Jackie would struggle with the feelings he had for his father for the rest of his life. There were times when he expressed great anger over it, and others when he seemed to harbor no hard feelings at all. Jackie's show continued until 1970 when it was canceled, not because of ratings, but because of demographics. CBS and the advertisers felt that his audience was just too old, and they wanted to attract younger and more affluent viewers. Although he would never again headline his own series, Gleason would return to television on February 26, 1976, to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the Honeymooners, with a live broadcast. It was so successful that 3 more followed. He would also concentrate on his film career. He had a few missteps, such as Mr. Billion, The Toy, and The Sting 2, but he also had his successes. Burt Reynolds talked him into doing what would become one of his most beloved roles, Sheriff Buford T. Justice in Smoking the Bandit. Not only did it offer him a unique role to play, but also the opportunity to do what he did best, ad-lib. It was the second highest grossing film of 1977, only behind Star Wars, and its success earned Jackie a $1 million salary for its sequel. He received good notices for Nothing in Common with Tom Hanks, as well as for Mr. Halpern and Mr. Johnson with Laurence Olivier. Jackie called Mr. Halpern and Mr. Johnson the best work he had done in years, and Olivier said that Gleason was one of the finest actors he'd ever worked with. In 1985, Jackie announced that he was in possession of something that most people in the television industry thought was lost forever. He released 75 Honeymooners sketches that had been taped between 1952 and 1956 as the lost episodes. Not only did Jackie know where they were the entire time, he had been paying $100 a week to keep them preserved in a temperature-sensitive vault. Gleason would also team up with Art Carney one last time for the television movie Izzy and Mo. However, during filming, Carney noticed that something was off about Gleason. He felt that all the joy had gone out of him, and he seemed miserable. Not long after that, Jackie Gleason was diagnosed with colon cancer. With his age and his health, there was not much doctors could do for him. Jackie took the time to prepare and to meet with friends and family. He said his goodbyes to some and made amends with others. And on June 24, 1987, the Great One passed away. He was laid to rest in Miami with one of his signature lines emblazoned across the front of his mausoleum. Jackie Gleason's films and television shows are seen by millions of viewers every day, and his work has inspired actors and comedians for years, including Brad Garrett, who once played Jackie, and Kevin James. James's own show, The King of Queens, was inspired by the Honeymooners, as was the cartoon The Honey Mousers and the Flintstones. To honor Gleason and his bus-driving alter ego, Ralph Kramden, the New York City Transit Authority named a bus depot in his honor. And in August of 2000, New York City paid a further tribute when they unveiled a statue of Jackie Gleason as Ralph Kramden. It sits at the Port Authority bus terminal on 8th Avenue and is seen by over 200,000 people a day. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you can see what story we'll explore next.